Everyone starts at zero. About 6 years ago, I sat in this very spot in this park. It was a bit different back then. It's been completely redeveloped. But I said those words because they were true then and they're true today. Everyone, when you're starting anything, you start at zero. When you're born and you don't know how to walk, you start with zero knowledge. If you don't know how to talk, you start with zero knowledge. And if you don't know how to create, record, and release your best music, you guessed it, you start with zero knowledge. In this video, I'm going to break down 5 tips, 5 things that I've learned since I first sat here and said those words nearly 6 years ago in 2018. I've learned a lot of stuff, and I thought I would just share a few of those little tidbits and tips with you in this video. My name is Pete. My goal is to help you, yes you, create, record and release your best music. I do that through tips and tricks and tutorials and live streams. Been doing it for 8 years around here on Studio Live today. And over that time, a heap of people have been able to write music, record music, release music, and it's been amazing to see. And I hope that in some way I've provided some of the tools, know-how, and maybe even a little bit of the confidence and encouragement to help folks do that. So that's what I want to continue doing. Let's dive into these 5 tips, shall we? Number 1, if you don't know where to start, just start. Honestly, this is the best bit of advice that I was given early on, which is that sometimes you'll feel a bit lost. You won't know where to start. You'll be like, what is step 1? What do I need to do to get started with this? It can be as simple as grabbing a guitar, grabbing a microphone, grabbing your iPhone or your iPad, jumping into GarageBand, making an 8-bar loop, writing a verse of a song, write a poem, learn the guitar, go onto YouTube and watch some ukulele lessons and learn how to play the uke. Like, there's so many ways that you can just start doing something musical. Use Duolingo. That's got a music learning thing now. Learn a bit of music theory. Watch some of David Bennett Piano's videos. Go to Rick Beato and get angry with him about recording and copyright and whatever else. So there's a heap of ways you can get involved without having to actually know everything. You're not going to know everything. Remember, you're starting at zero, so take it slow. Number 2, keep in mind that perfection is the enemy of done. Now, some people don't like it when I say that. They're like, well, don't you want things to be perfect? Well, then let's just say perfection is the enemy of great then. Yes, if you want something to be a great song, it's not going to be perfect. And here's the thing, it's diminishing returns. Have you heard of the 80-20 rule? Yeah, look, I'm not saying you want your song to be 80% good, but sometimes that first 80% only takes you 20% of the time. And then you spend 80%, you spend the vast majority of your time fiddling about, faffing about, buggering around, as we'd say in Australia, and you won't get it done. And that's the problem. A lot of people have, partly done songs. Have you got any of these? Have you got these songs where you've written some of a song? They're 10% done, 50% done, 90%, 99% done. You know what value a 99% done song is to the world? I mean, it's not zero, but it's not a heck of a lot, is it? Because we want music that's finished. We want people to be able to listen to the whole song end to end. So remember, perfectionistic tendencies, and a lot of us have them, they can be damaging to your ability to finish music. Number 3 is compare you to you. So when we start getting into anything, especially when it's something like music or you're learning a skill, it's easy to start comparing yourself to the pros or to the person teaching you. That's the quickest way to misery, because guess what? They might have been doing it for a month, a year, a decade, a lifetime. And you started yesterday and you're comparing yourself to them. And I see this in YouTube as well. A lot of people start out with YouTube and they want to start getting subscribers and making money on YouTube and getting lots of views and getting lots of followers. And I just say it's a marathon, like the amount of times, and yes, you can play the drinking game when you watch my shows. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It takes a long time. A lot of people said, you know what, when Billy Joel started out, he was literally the piano man playing in bars, and it took him a long time to become an overnight success. And that's the way I would love you to start thinking about you and your music, is that, hey, it's not going to happen overnight. Remember that Pantene ad for those my Australian friends with Rachel Hunter? It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen. And that was the worst. That was almost South African. That wasn't really anything. But yeah, just stick at it and compare yourself to you. So what do I mean by that? Well, don't compare yourself to other people that are out there that have been doing this for a long time. This is why it's so important to create, record and release your music. Let's just pause on that for a sec. Because if you don't finish songs, you don't know, A, what you've done well, but more importantly, you don't know what you can work on. And then in a year's time, when you look back, you've got no finished songs to compare to your songs now. So if you've been doing this stuff for 5 years, start now by finishing songs. Get them done, and then you can compare, and it's fabulous. I go back, I cringe when I hear the songs that I record. When I did the first version of this video, and you can find that one down in the description below if you want to get a bit nostalgic with me, but the first time I did this video, I would cringe at the songs that I produced in 2018. But the thing is, now in 2024, I've learnt so much from the mistakes I made in those songs, I've been able to implement it into the newer songs. So complete your songs and compare yourself to you, because you can't really compare yourself to other folks. This is the Paynham Table Tennis Club. There's a table tennis table over there, little outdoor table tennis table, and they completely redid this park pretty much just after I did that, during the P word, the C word. Number 4. Second to last tip here, because the sun's coming up there and the lighting's going to get pretty shoddy because it's a Saturday morning here in Australia. So the number 4 one here is to chunk it down. You can't boil the ocean. If you're starting to get demotivated because you're like, I'm starting at 0 and I want to get this song done, don't rush into getting a whole song done, because that can be overwhelming. You gotta write an intro, you gotta write a verse, you gotta write a chorus, you gotta write all of the arrangement, you've got to record it, you've got to mix it, you've got to master it, you've got to release it. Mate, I'm feeling exhausted just talking about it, let alone doing it. So do keep that in mind, that you don't have to do everything at once, and the process of chunking things down is really important. And I ask myself this question, because you might be time poor. You might be going, Johns, I don't have a whole lot of time to record. I work a full-time job. I have a family. I need to pay the mortgage, all that sort of stuff. Fair, absolutely fair calls. But here's the thing, what's the minimum amount you can get done today that's going to push this project forward? And whether it's recording a song, or whether it's building a pergola, or whether it's doing anything in life, what is the minimum amount you can do that's going to push things forward, that's going to get you done? And for you, it may just be, I'm going to brainstorm for 10 minutes. I'm going to do some speed thinking exercises. I'm going to go onto Studio Live today and search Pete Johns speed thinking. I'm going to learn how to do speed thinking, and I'm just going to get some concepts, some ideas down for a song. And that's all I'm going to do today. And then the next day, I'm going to write a hook. I'm going to write 10 candidates that could be the hook line of the chorus of this song. Or let's say you're an instrumentalist. What's the minimum you can do? I'm going to write 8-bar melody, or I'm going to design a 16-bar chord progression that I'm going to work around for this song. So what is the least that you can do, the smallest amount that's going to make you feel satisfied that you've done something, and that's going to push your project forward? And go with that, and you will find that in a week or 2 weeks' time, you've done all these little chunks, and it's turned into something real. You can't do it all at once. Don't boil the ocean. And the final thing that I wanted to say here, and this is something I wish I was could tell myself from before. I wanted to do it all myself. Any stubborn people out there that just want to get it all done and do it all by yourself, because, you don't need no help from no one, see? I was like that. But here's the thing, there are so many people out there that not only can help you, but are willing to help you. And it doesn't have to be one-on-one help. You can get community help. You can join community groups and forums. The Create, Record, Release Facebook group's a good one. There's Reddit groups, there's Discord servers, there's a heap of resources down in the description. And having other people and getting help from people. Here's the problem. People think that getting help is a sign of weakness. Flip that around. Getting help is a sign of strength, because people that don't get help are basically saying, there's nothing that I can do that's going to improve this, and they have no growth. They can't develop their skills further, because guess what? Like when you put on sunglasses in the dark, we've all got blind spots. Yeah, you've all got a blind spot. There's something you're doing with your music right now that you don't know, that you can't see. Someone else may be able to see it. Other folks may be able to help you identify some of those blind spots and improve your music and improve your production. So being part of a community and seeking help when you need, just like everything else in life, just like mental health, you can do it all on your own, but you're not braver by doing it on your own. The bravest thing to do is to admit that you need help, seek help, and then you will do so much better. You'll feel better, you'll do better. I promise you, it's the way to go. Don't have to do it all by yourself. And the same even with just the skill gaps. Like if you are a wonderful piano player and you can do okay on the drums, but you're not that great. And then you got a mate who needs some keys work done for their song, but they're an amazing drummer. Why on earth would you not get together and help each other out? The sum of the parts always creates a better whole than they would by themselves, or something like that. It's something like that, isn't it? So that's my 5 tips to give you here today. If you're feeling demotivated, if you're getting into summer if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or about to hibernate for winter if you're down south, and you're like, I really want, in 2024, I want to get a song done. I want to release, I want to create, I want to do what John says. I want to create, record, and release my best music, the best music that can come out of me. Well, that's the key. Doesn't have to be perfect. Everyone starts at 0. Chunk it down. Seek help when you need to. And before you know it, you'll actually be progressing towards creating, recording, and releasing your best music. I hope you found this one useful. What do you think, though? Do you have any other tips? Have you been through this? Are you starting your journey? Are you experienced and you'd love to share your knowledge with the community? Well, guess what? The comment section down there might be the first step towards you helping others, or you seeking help from others. Thanks for watching this one. Please be kind to yourself, folks. Be kind to others. Keep creating, and I'll see you next time.